let's just get right into it. The first thing we want to know is about the BC game last week. You guys had a great game. You lost by 1 point. That's a bitter pill to swallow. Take us through the game. Take us through the emotions of it. How's the team feeling after it, and anything you can give us?
Yeah, I mean, we're on the big run here now. You know, we played Promise Catholic at home, then we went to Joe's on the road, and that was a tough one. It took a little while for our kids to get going. Then rolled right into Bergen Catholic on the road again, and we knew that was going to be a big challenge. We knew we had to, try to contain 21 and 5, and our defense is good, so we felt comfortable about that. And the offense, we had to kind of keep their offense off the field as much as possible. Kind of play takeaway. So that was the game plan. The kids did a great job with it. Our staff is awesome. We stuck to the game plan. A couple of missed plays here or there. It could have went the other way, but I mean, it's just great being in that environment, and win, lose, or draw. I mean, that's where you want to be. You just want to be competing.
Obviously, if you're looking at the stats all year long, they've been putting 45, 48, whatever on all these teams. Is defense the strong part of your team?
Yeah, it's the backbone. You know what I mean? We have 24 seniors, so we have a lot of leadership there. And on defense, we have a lot of seniors there that they've been through it. So we put a lot on them early on in the game, and kind of for everyone else to settle in. And they responded. Dom Gaston is a great defense coordinator. He's actually a Bergen Catholic alum, so it was a good friendly rivalry there. With Greg Toll there, and I obviously know Nunzio and Coach Stengel. So, and then Dom being there, so there were a lot of people who knew each other. So it was very competitive, but at the same time, a lot of respect.
Explain to us what that senior leadership means. I mean, it's coinciding, of course, with a great season from Coach John. You guys started off undefeated, and you're rolling. It's a nice season, and it just happens to coincide with having 24 seniors. Is that a coincidence?
No, actually, when I got the job, April 2011, we didn't really have much time to really do much of anything, except obviously coach the great kids we had. But then when we got on the road and started to market the program and the school, this senior class was the first class where I was telling them that we were going to play, as freshmen, we were playing Promise Catholic, we were scrimmaging St. Joe's, we were scrimmaging Don Bosco, we were playing DePaul. So that freshman class, who are now seniors, were playing them, even though we were still in the old league up here at the varsity level. We canceled out some of the local games, and I believe it was Promise Catholic, DePaul on the schedule, and then we game scrimmage St. Joe's and Don Bosco. So those kids really came up here, not only because of great academics, but they're really excited about playing, what we call big-time football.
And big-time football, of course, is this parochial situation here in North Jersey, which is huge. I mean, all the best players seem to be converging at these top 5, 6, 7 schools. And now Pope John is really coming on and earning their stripes within that parochial level here. Those seniors you have now, took a little bit of, took that first part of that process on the chin, right? And now here they are and having success. What does it mean to you to watch them have that success? Because you promised them when they came here that this was going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, good question. It's a learning curve, it's a learning process. So each year we've gotten closer and closer, and so some people were surprised last year that we were so competitive. We were 6-5 and lost 4 games by a total of 19 points. They were all juniors then, and we met right after our last game, the semifinals against DePaul, and we all said right away that the tagline this year was finish. So the kids knew that they wanted to finish it.
You compete, win a few games that maybe some people thought you wouldn't win. You end up in the playoffs. You're in the semifinals. You're ahead by 4 points, okay, with about 2 minutes left to go in the semifinals and looking to go to the finals. And, they come down the field, they drive, they score a touchdown late. You guys take a tough loss. Has that loss propelled this team? I mean, is this added to the hunger and maybe address some of those experiences, like as far as taking steps?
Yeah, I think not only that loss, but we were down at Promise Catholic. We lost that game 33-28. We had the ball, one last shot, moved across to the 40, and we couldn't get it done there. And then we lost to Bergen Catholic up here 14-7. It was 7-7 with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So then we were down in Malvern Prep, and we had a lead, and we ended up losing by 2 points in the last minute of the game. So there was a lot of those games where the kids were like, wow, you know. But it's part of the maturation process. You know, you have to go through that. So, like I said, it's really based on really great senior leadership, 24 of them, but they're all great kids. And then obviously we have a great staff.
So more specifically, when you talk about your seniors, one in particular I wanted to ask you about is Jake Brown. An interesting thing about him is that he's been offered by all 7 Ivy League schools, plus I think Colgate and Army on top of that. So you get the idea just by that what kind of kid this is. But I'll tell you what, there's not a lot of people on the earth walking around that have been offered to go play at all 7 of the Ivy League schools. Is he the glue here, Poach-on, of your seniors? I mean, I know you have the 2-headed running back monster with Neal and Jones, and everybody's all excited about them. But what about Jake Brown?
Yeah, I mean, Jake Brown's a great kid, great leader. You know, obviously he's very strong academically. He's also a stud wrestler. We love 2-sport guys. You know, we're just big on that. I mean, basketball, football, wrestling, football, lacrosse, whatever. We love 2-sport guys. And he's actually being recruited by some of the Ivies as wrestler football combo. So he's one of the guys that really we lean heavily on, a great role model. But we also have Aiden Murray, who's been offered by Columbia, and a whole bunch of other guys. God willing, we'll end up with 4 or 5 guys with Ivy League offers by the end of this. You know, and our best player last year went to Stanford on a full ride, Dalen Wade Perry. So, you know, me personally, I'm just on a mission statement of really trying to prove all the stereotypes about football players are dumb. They're not. You know what I mean? They're great kids, and they're great classy kids from great families. So we're really proud of pushing that product that way.
If you could describe to people at home in terms people who don't coach can understand what it's like to play week in, week out, and to compete in this atmosphere here in New Jersey, as far as the parochial, as far as the Big 6, Big 7. It seems like every week, all right, you guys are going into a huge war. Shed some light on that for us.
Yeah, you know, it's being like the SEC or the Big 10, the ACC. I mean, that's how it is. When I was blessed to be interviewed by Father, I told him in the first interview that, you know, I really didn't want to continue to compete where they were competing. I really felt Pope John could take it to the next level, and that's what I was looking to do. You know, I'm from down there. I went to Promise Catholic. I coached at Bosco. I know all those guys. I know very familiarly with the talent and the program and the coaches. And I just felt, you know, I've been living up here now for 20 years. I just really felt Pope John could represent himself very well in that league. You know, and thank God we have. But so it's not something that we were really forced upon. You know, that was really one of my visions. I think a lot of people thought I was nuts when I was first saying that. You know. But it's a great tradition, 20 state championships. I mean, it's so much great foundation here. All we have to do is really kind of take it out now.
So just a few more questions. Again, I'm really appreciative of a few minutes of your time. I know you're a busy guy. This week, you guys are going to be traveling to DePaul to play them. And really, it's a winner-take-all game. I mean, the way it looks from the outside, you know, this is really the game. You guys have 188 power points. DePaul has 184 power points. You're separated by 4. Whoever wins this game is probably going to get the 1 seed in the non-public Group 3 standings going into the playoffs, which means home games all the way through. Give us your thoughts on the game. I don't want to know about your strategy for the game, but you know, just your thoughts on it and how you're preparing the kids and you know kind of how Pope John the community feels about it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a big game. Pope John and DePaul have a long history. You know, they played each other in the past when they were in Group 2s and all, and so there's a lot of tradition there. You know, the Bergen Catholics and the Promise Catholics, that's kind of new for us, you know, but DePaul goes way back. They've always been competitive. And for us, like you mentioned, we really preach physical and fast. You know, that's who we are. That's who I am. I'm a 100-mile-an-hour guy. That's the way I live. I mean, that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? I walk fast. I talk fast. So it's just who we are. And like I said, our kids love the physicality. We look for kids like that love to mix it up. Some people say it's kind of old style, but you know, we just feel at the end of the day, if you could hit and you could run around and fly around, you're going to be in every game, which we have been. You know what I mean? Especially against the good teams. So you got to be physical. And you know, you look at the Alabamas and all those guys, the Wisconsins, the Stanfords. I mean, they're physical teams. You know, so that took a little side out because we feel DePaul and us are very similar in the physicality. You know what I mean? So that's the most physical game usually of the year. It's the last game for us. We don't have a ninth week, so you know, they have 184. We have 188. I think we're both 1 and 2 in the state. So, you know, small group 3 schools. You know what I mean? Catholic schools. So great tradition there. McKenna does a great job. I mean, I love playing against them. I mean, I haven't been successful against them. That's one thing I'm working on.
Okay, there we go.
You know what I mean? So, but you know, it'll be a lot of fun, and you know, the kids know each other, and it'll be 48 minutes of football. I'll tell you that.
Look, everybody knows you as you know, the A personality. You're the coach. This is your show. You're basically running it, managing it. But you know, you have a life outside of football, and what we would like to know. Last question is, what is it about Brian Carlson that maybe nobody knows that might fly in the face of what, you know, people visualize when they think about the old ball coach?
Well, you know, I have an economics poli-sci degree. You know, I teach economics here. I teach AP. Football, even when I was playing at Montclair State, and you know, I went to Promise Catholic. You know, you never want to be defined by one thing. You know what I mean? So I don't let people define me by football. You know, my name's Brian, not Coach. You know what I mean? I had a great family. You know, a great family. So I was blessed with that. And you know, I did a lot of things I like off campus. You know what I mean? I lived in Europe. I lived in Paris for 6 months. I coached ball over there.
Wow.
It was great. You know, in the '90s. You know, I love impressionist paintings. You know, I love French food. I love, you know, people want, you know, I get French cheese. You know, and stuff like that. So, you know, there's the football side, and then there's the rest of your life. So, and I teach the kids the same thing. It's really important what we teach here is that you can either use football or football can use you. You know what I mean? We want to use football to get kids better opportunities in their life they'll never have before. So it's really not all about the wins and losses. It's about a vehicle to get to a better place in life. And that's the common bond there.
Words of wisdom, certainly from Coach Carlson here at Pope John. We really appreciate your time. Good luck this week. I hope all your kids are safe and sound. Everybody's healthy, and it's a good game. And you know, may the best man win. But thank you so much for sitting with us. We appreciate it. Okay.
Thanks a lot.